Well, the Blanchard House Museum in Punta Gorda was unable to fully celebrate Black history this month.
And the museum is still closed because of the damage from Hurricane Ian. Fox 4's Chris Shaw, though, was in Punta Gorda this morning to show us what the museum is doing still to get its message out.
Yeah, you may have heard me say it before on Fox 4 Morning News. Punta Gorda is one of my favorite places. You've got the beautiful water views, you've got the great parks and restaurants, and something else that not a lot of other Southwest Florida cities have, a deep and rich history. You know, this city was founded back in the 1880s, and for a good 30 to 40 year stretch, the area where I am right now on MLK Boulevard was home to thriving Black-owned businesses. The Blanchard House Museum is a monument to that time. It's closed right now because of Hurricane Ian damage, and I'll take you inside in just a second. But the real part of the story that I want you to pay attention to is what the museum director is doing to get the message out of this building and into the community.
History should not be locked away.
See that? A little dampness still.
And walking into a once thriving museum shouldn't feel so empty.
This is where we are now.
This is where the Blanchard House Museum has been since Hurricane Ian hit.
By the next day, we knew things were really not good.
This is what it looks like from the air, and that hole in the roof.
So I guess that's the biggest damage right there.
Does not look any better inside. When Dr. Martha Beretta gave me a tour, we had to wear masks because the mold is so bad.
When I hear that you had roof damage, the first thing I think about is all the artifacts, everything that was inside.
We did get everything out of here.
But getting the message out about how important Black families were to the creation of Punta Gorda has been a challenge this Black History Month.
Just because Ian closed the doors does not mean he closed us down.
Dr. Beretta is taking history on the road.
I'm doing several programs with libraries. We're going to do story time with kids, and we are committed to teaching untold and untaught history.
And there's a personal reason she wants to continue with this mission. You see, Dr. Beretta tells me she can trace her ancestry back to the founders of Punta Gorda. Then in the late 90s, it was her mother who bought this house for a very specific reason.
This was her dream, Bernice Russell. This was her vision. She saw what this community was. You know, when we had stores and everything right in this block, she knew us. She was very proud of all of that. And it was actually after schools integrated. The kids would pass her house, and she knew what she grew up with, and she knew what I had to grow up with. And some of the kids didn't have book bags, and some of the kids' heads were down, and Mother said, those children need to know who they are. And that was why she did this. They needed to know who they had come from, that their ancestors had helped to settle and develop this town.
And no hurricane can change that.
Do you have any idea yet when you can reopen?
We have said for a fact, Emancipation Day, we will be open, okay?
Emancipation Day, of course, is the day when slaves in the South began to hear that they had been freed. In Florida, Emancipation Day is May 20th, so a lot of work still needs to be done to have the museum ready for that date. Dr. Beretta tells me the museum does have insurance, but it's likely going to cost more money to get it fixed. So if you'd like to help get the museum back up and on its feet, go to fox4now.com, find this story, and in the story, I have information about how you can donate. And while you're at fox4now.com, check out this video. It is a story I did 3 years ago about the creation of Punta Gorda and the role that African Americans had not only in founding the city, but how they were some of the wealthiest employers and landowners in the city for many, many years. Again, that story is on our website, fox4now.com. You talk about the rich history that Punta Gorda has. You see that in the city's History Museum. There's also the Downtown Historic District, but this area near MLK Boulevard is just as significant. Reporting in Punta Gorda, Chris Shaw, Fox 4 News.
And let's hope